Hi, friends. My name's host Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People. And right now, I'm waiting for an INFJ's approval. That's right. I did something rather bold this morning. I sent Corey a link to Siddhartha today. I decided I've listened to it enough. It's definitely done. I sent him a link to it. It's his song. He had no idea I was even recording it or anything. I was able to link to it on a Facebook message, and now I'm basically just waiting for an INFJ's approval. I don't know if he's going to approve of it or not. It's like I don't know if he's going to think I did a good job with it or not, except I think he probably will. It's like I did a good job on it. I did as well as I could to make it, to realize it as he envisioned it rather than how I might want to play with it. Hi, Rafael Alvarez. Alvarez. Last night, Rachel and I went to the taco truck, and boy, did it take a long time. And boy, are my arms tired. It took such a long time at the taco truck. Alvarez. I like it pronounced like that. It's Rafael Alvarez. King Krishna Sarmapaku. An email. Anthrax are here. I've got some good news for both of you guys. You're not the INFJs I'm waiting for the approval from. I'm waiting for it from my friend Corey. I recorded his song, Siddhartha today. Everybody tells it, oh, that's your best song, Eric. It's not my song. Thanks. I prefer Regos. Can I just call you Reg? Can I call you Reggie from now on? Well, the thing is, Corey didn't even know that I was recording this song, Siddhartha today. But I've decided now that I am done with it. In other words, I decided that I'm definitely not going to do anything more to the music. Music's done. So I sent him a link to it. That link, it's unlisted, and I'm nervous. I'm actually nervous. Like, I'm afraid to see what he has to say about it. Like, is he going to like it? Is he going to disapprove of it? Because it's not my song, and I really tried to implement it as I understood his vision for it to be. So we'll see what he says. That's what I'm waiting for an INFJ's approval about. Well, I disagree. It does and says everything it has to do and say, and exactly that and nothing more. Which is, look, there was another version of it that had the bass as an intro, so it went through the bass loop once before it's the thing started. But Corey always envisioned that song starting with Siddhartha today, which is a great way to start it, And I could have stuck an extra one in the middle, except I couldn't because I disagree with you. It captures the earworm. For sure, it does. I understand what you're saying. I linked it right there above, Dan. But this is one of those instances email anthrax where SI defeats NI in this regard, because I'm so familiar with the song. I understand it so well, and my NI is so fully realized about it that sure, give me your honest opinion, King Christian song for you. Remembering that it's not even my song. I recorded it. I did all the production on it. I did all the music on it and everything and singing. But I did not write that song. So, you know, even if you think it's a bad song, you're not going to hurt my feelings about it or anything. One thing I know I did well is I'm pleased with the way I produced it. So that is to say, it's tight, it's clean, it's not sloppy, and I can be sloppy. You know, it's one of my I'm naturally sloppy. I have to work very hard to not be sloppy. So, you know, people have different opinions about songs or music and stuff. To the extent they deviate from mine, they're wrong. That's something I've understood a long time ago, is that people can't so much hurt my feelings about music because they're either right about it, in which case I might not agree with them instantly, but I will soon enough, or they're wrong about it, in which case it doesn't matter. Okay, I kind of agree with that critique, King Christian song for you. I do. I kind of agree with that critique. And in fact, I took efforts to reduce that quality in the vocals by EQing away, by doing cuts in the EQ at 3,000 and 6,000, which kind of takes the edge off of it like that. So that's a legitimate critique, and it's one of the things about the song. It's not perfect. I agree with you. Vocals are very hard to record in general and get them to sound good. Rachel's vocals sound good. I think mine sound good most of the way through. But I would agree with you that as far as frequency ranges go, it would have been nice to maybe have a lower voice in there. The thing to remember is, no, I nailed it the whole way through pitch-wise. Pitch-wise, it's perfect. But I agree with the frequency range issue a little bit. It's a minor problem. But the thing is, I think what's going to end up happening is people are going to find themselves unavoidably listening to that song, whether they want to or not, whether they think they have an opinion about it now or not. It's just too good of a song. The other thing is this. It's one of the tough realities about music. I make music better than just about everybody else in the world. I'm better at making music than just about everybody. But it doesn't matter. It's not good enough to be better than just about everybody. You have to be timelessly genius. And nothing short of timelessly genius is adequate. So it's always the case that something I make is going to be imperfect. And I'm going to be aware of that too. The thing is, I must have spent 40 hours or so just mixing and mastering that thing and getting all the vocals lined up precisely with the timing and stuff. Just doing the moving notes here and there and blah, 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 blah. Why do my conclusions come back similar to yours? Well, no, there is perfection. It's just we don't attain it. It exists, we just don't attain it, you know? Yeah, Dan did. I think regarding the last few notes, well, you didn't say that. You said there is no perfection, just something you pursue. Well, if you pursue it, then it exists. Okay? It's something you strive for, you seek, but And you can get pretty close. There are some things that are perfect, pretty close anyway. Not things I've made maybe, but there are things in the world that are perfect. You know? Yeah, right. Like it never gets quite down to zero. Right. Okay, I agree with you there. But you can get so close as to be indistinguishable from it. Okay, you can be so close to be indistinguishable from it. I have not been there. I've not gotten that perfect yet. I have some really good songs. I've got some great music productions, but I bet you I will continue to hear from people regardless of this initial spot here. And remember also that I've recorded hundreds of songs, so I'm not super that attached to any particular one being great, right? I accept that my methodology for making things is hit and miss. I'm not an INFJ. I don't have 6 brilliant songs. I got 300 songs. There might be 3 or 4 brilliant ones in there, but that's just my way. So that's okay. I don't expect everything to be genius. I was really quite pleased with my COVID song, but wasn't very well liked by people in general. I think the chorus to it is great. Stupid and scared, COVID-19. Destroy everything for the impression you bring. It's a good song, but it's not as good as Siddhartha. And, in general, anytime I put rapping in a song, can I send a link to the COVID song? Sure. Every time I include rapping in a song, I almost always make it less timeless. Like I'm moving further away from the truest form of a musical production. It's not always the case, though. Sometimes you can successfully rap in ways that don't undermine the meowity meow. Type saying by Kailash Khair. Sure, I listened to it. You want to link it? I'll make you a moderator. I'm surprised you're not a moderator already, actually. Can't Chris, that's not for you. I mean, that's the thing. I treat music like baseball. Baseball, you need to hit about 275 to be a productive player, right? You only get one hit in every 4 at bats, maybe. I'm going to mute this and listen to King Krishna Summer. Yeah, I agree with you, King Krishna Summer for you. That song is making every effort in the world to take the sort of there's a sort of ballady chord progression-y Western kind of meow to it that goes on top of which goes those weird India vocals, right? Because you know how in India they don't stick with the 12-note chromatic scale. They go, hey, for some reason, I don't know why they do that, but they don't stick to the 12-note chromatic scale in India. Hey, lawnmower. Did you forget about our rule? No Australians. I'm just kidding. Australians are welcome too. Australians are welcome. The thing is, also, I haven't actually published that video yet. If I wanted to be insane, I could go re-record my vocals after all that work I put into it. You know, I could put India-style vocals over Siddhartha today. Europeans are fine. No Greeks, though, all right? They're not financially solvent. Thanks, Rain Fox. Yeah, I'm an expert at those. That's why my school voted me most likely to make curry. Hey, Grace. You cannot possibly still be in the EU, are you? Did the EU still let you in there? Are you still part of the EU, Grace? After all the trouble you caused? Haven't they kicked you out yet? Did they kick Greece out of the EU? What's this video's motif? The alternate title of it could be, if they haven't kicked Greece out of the EU yet, they should. They are kicked out? Oh no, they're still in the EU? Boom! Out you go, Greece. You don't belong in the EU. Lazy fucks. Okay. So there we go. I'm telling the truth about Greece and the EU today. You guys are just an anchor. You're just dead weight. You're dead weight on the European Union, Greece. Parthenon my ass. Parthenon my ass. That's my imitation of Ferris Bueller's friend in Ferris Bueller's Day Off talking to the principal on the phone. Thoughts on the EU? Stupid idea. Largely a drain on Germany. And it's just a stupid idea. Too much regulation. The idea of a single currency is one thing. A single currency is a good idea. A single regulatory state is not. Regulation is bad. Brexit is good. The guy with the hockey shirt? Oh, yeah, him, right, exactly. You, sir, are an asshole. You know? Well, sure there is. There's lots of regulation. It's generally a bad idea to smudge the lines of national sovereignty anyway. A sovereign state is that which makes the laws. It makes no sense to have an international body represent a sovereign state because there's no representation, right? There's no representation really of the average citizen for the EU, even a little bit. The EU represents the commercial interests of enterprises within its group of countries. But it's not meaningfully an elected body, not by the citizens of the sovereign states. Why should citizens be okay relinquishing their genuine and natural sovereignty to some international body? It's stupid. It makes no sense. Right. I don't even like my own government, let alone you unelected bureaucrats. Right. Why do you want another layer of bureaucracy? It's insane. Yes, have a single currency. That's fine. You don't need to have an EU to have a single currency for Europe. And once again, Eric is precisely right about everything. I am a big fan of free markets and no war, Rafael Barreras, and I think a single currency would go a long way to help that. It's not even a theory, King create this armed group. That's the problem with it. It doesn't even have any points to make anymore. It's just a word that means nothing. It's a word that means nothing. Thanks, King Christian Sarm Group, for being my evolution opposing friend, because I have gotten more grief about evolution than anything else I've ever talked about. It's like I talked about so many controversial things, but the one thing that people freak out about is evolution. Like, you can't possibly disagree with evolution. I think adaptation of a species within the plasticity of the genome exists, what some people call microevolution for some reason. We have a word for it, it's adaptation. Why do we need to call it microevolution? Why do you keep going, rah, 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 rah? Hate that. Stop with your rah, rah. I'm tired of it. No, look, I agree with you that trade barriers are bad. But again, you don't need the EU to take down trade barriers. I mean, the problem with the EU is that it's more than just a trade agreement. We have NAFTA in the United States. NAFTA does a lot of the things that the EU does without any country sacrificing their sovereignty. You don't need any of the sovereignty aspects of the EU to attain the economic benefits of it. You just need sensible countries who don't put up tariffs and shit, You did vote on the right side of history, Aaron. It is wrong to have an extra sovereign layer of governance. Of course, that's funny for me to say because I come from the country that has dual sovereignty, states and federal. Well, yeah, but it's not really microevolution. That's something the evolutionists call adaptation to make it sound like evolution. It's silly. There's no such thing as microevolution. It's adaptation within the legitimate plasticity of a given species genome towards changing environmental impacts. The problem that evolution has is its central claim is that it creates speciation. Adaptation does not. So there's it's like you could take two identical twin brothers, put one of them in rowing at a young age, all the way through high school, and put one of them in ice skating at a young age, and all the way through high school. And no matter how good or bad they are at their respective sports, they will end up with different muscles, right? Like the ice skating person will end up with big leg muscles, and the rowing person will end up with big upper body muscles. So that's adaptivity within the plasticity of an individual body. So our bodies are plastic up to a point, right? We can exercise big muscles. We can't exercise our arms into wings, though. And that's basically the gist of what evolution is failing to understand. That just because human beings, individual human being bodies, have plasticity, that means some people can have bigger muscles, make their muscles bigger, or not make their muscles bigger. You know, they can adapt their own body to maximize certain things and minimize other certain things. But they can't practice their arms into wings. And evolution is basically saying that because there's an inherent plasticity to a thing, that it's infinitely plastic. Not true. It never changes what it is. It just has plasticity within the range of what it is. So, are you implying some sort of past genetic modification in regards to humans? No, I'm saying that we can understand that something has a given amount of plasticity, but a limited amount of plasticity. And that's the way things are. So just as I have plasticity within my individual life that includes making my muscles bigger, but doesn't include growing wings, so too does the genome has plasticity. So that a species like a species of moth that was all white turned all black during this time period in England where the soot covered all the trees. And then when they stopped polluting all that soot all the time, they turned all white again. And people go, see, evolution. No, the answer is see, adaptation. That's within the plasticity of these species. That's like them getting big leg muscles because they're doing ice skating all the time. It's not the same thing as them turning into a different species. All right, well, there's no mechanism of increased complexity generating change over time that can be explained by evolution. In fact, a species is a self-replicating genome, and that's definitionally what it is. And deviation from the mean of that genome is exterminated by natural selection. That's what keeps the species a single species. Well, that's Bernie Fox. See, that's what people assume. People assume that because you could imagine a given species of finch maximally attaining a longer beak within its genome, that's responsible for two different species, one with a longer beak and one without. But it's not responsible for that. That makes no sense. Because definitionally, a species is a self-replicating genome. Children annoy me. I want to eat. I just got home and kid wants to argue my logic on not air conditioning the outside. You need a little bit more 8 in you there, Dan Black. A little 8 goes a long way. No, but see, Morris, that's assuming the mechanism again. They are two species. You can imagine one becoming two, but there's no reason to believe that's what happened. Okay? You can imagine one of those species being environmentally pressured to maximally attain similarities to the other, even. But that doesn't mean it was responsible for speciation or responsible for those two species. It just looks like that. It does look like that in the same sense that if we were to dig down archaeologically and go through a series of older and older houses, it might look like the houses evolved into more fancy houses over time. That wouldn't be the case, but it might look like it. So the thing is, nobody's ever won even a part of the evolution argument against me. That's the thing to know. I've never even had to cede any ground. And I'm an honest debater. So if somebody had a good point here, I'd have to cede some ground. I never even have to cede any ground. Why? What about the so-called 98? This is the problem, Aurelius. Once again, we're trying to prove why that's the case. We're trying to explain why that's the case. Evolution fails to explain why that's the case. There might be some good reason for it, but it's not evolution. We know that. Evolution begs the question constantly. It's trying to explain the thing it presumes it explains. And it fails to do so completely. How do you get diversity of life from a single cell organism? More importantly, with Drama Bear, how do you get from single cell organisms approximately to human beings in 60 million years, given there were extinction events every 40 million years prior to 60 million years ago? Look, a trade agreement is not what the EU is. If the EU were just a trade agreement, I'd be totally in favor of it. You can retain the economic benefits of the EU without the bureaucracy level. There's no reason you need to have extra regulations and shit. Simply take down trade barriers. Thanks, Infertile Piggy. That's exactly the sort of thing that I hear, basically. Look, if not evolution, then why are all these species so closely related to each other? They're not related to each other. It's like, that's pretty straightforward. I mean, I would think so, email anthrax. The thing is, it's an issue I have to come back to periodically because lots and lots of very intelligent people get very angry when they hear that I'm disputing their notion about evolution. You get very angry and insist that I can't possibly be right. I agree you need a common currency. My point is not that you shouldn't have the economic advantages of free trade and a common currency. My point is you shouldn't have the extra bullshit on top of it. Right. You need something like NAFTA, not something like the EU. NAFTA is the North American Free Trade Agreement. You need, instead of the EU, what you needed was the European Free Trade Agreement. Instead, you've got Germany being much, much less successful than they should be because they're having to carry all these weak-ass economies, and you're enabling countries like Greece to just, free riders, it's bullshit. It's not how things should be. Can you imagine Germany stealing all that money from their taxpayers to give to Greece to make sure Greece's economy doesn't fail? Can you imagine? If I were a German, I'd be absolutely infuriated. Their fucking tax dollars. Why is Germany giving their citizens' tax dollars to Greece? Why? Because it's not a free trade agreement, it's a union. You see what I'm saying? Okay, stop owning responsibility for other people's economies, Rafael Alvarez, and stop presuming that other people won't respond to naturally occurring consequences the same way that everybody does. When you protect people from natural consequences long enough, that you become part of the world, that they can no longer have to worry about natural consequences. So of course you're just enabling their bullshit. It is not the case that non-Germans, when not helped by Germans, necessarily fail. Okay? Believe it or not, those countries can handle their own shit too. To the extent that you make it possible for them not to, they're not going to, obviously. Oh, you're going to do all my chores for me? Well, great. I won't do them then. That's how the world works, Raphael. If Germany's going to do all my chores for me, well, I'm not going to do my chores myself. So stop assuming other people are stupid, Raphael, or incompetent. But if Germany doesn't help them, they're failed. No, they won't. They'll be like, oh, fuck, we have to do our own chores? Okay, fine. I mean, the thing is, why am I arguing on behalf of you and your country and you're arguing against it? I don't understand. You know, I mean, some people say, like, you know, well, Eric, you're German too. I've heard that. Like, I'm not German. I'm American. Just because my name is Strauss doesn't mean I'm from Germany. That's an American thing, though. Only Americans will say that. People from other countries don't ever say, well, you're German too, Eric. Only Americans say that. Look, what should we have done about Syria instead of taking in refugees and stuff? Build a big wall around the Middle East, give them all the guns they want, no planes, no boats, and let them kill their way to democracy. That's the best way to deal with it. It's a natural consequence of the ideological poison they've all bought into. And as a consequence, we don't want any part of it. You certainly don't want to invite those people into your country. They bring with them a poisonous ideology. The whole Middle East, just build a wall around it. Just pour all the guns they want. Here, have all these guns, Middle East. Go ahead. You take all these guns, but don't give them any boats or planes, okay? We don't want them leaving that area. They will eventually go through what de Tocqueville refers to as the process of democratization. Namely, they will kill themselves into small independent city-states that gradually will grow into democracies over the course of hundreds of years. And we just have to let it happen. Just don't let them out. That's the sensible policy. Sorry, it is. Oops. Eric said something that wasn't very politically correct, but it's true. Again, what should we do with COVID? Let it run its course. But people will die. That's true. Let it run its course. Okay, I'm not looking for somebody to blame, Lawnmower. I'm talking about what the proper policies are and what the wrong policies are. I'm not interested in who's to blame for the wrong policies. That's a fool's game. That's a fool's errand. Figuring out who's to blame for the current wrongness is a waste of my time. I will tell you what the current wrongnesses are. I will tell you what the proper policies are, but I am not going to waste my time. Why shouldn't people join existing democracies and force them to kill each other? What are you talking about? What I'm saying is the Middle East wants to fight. Lots of fighting going on there. You got your ISIS, you got your Saudi Arabians bombing Yemen, you got your Yemenis attacking whomever, you got your Syrians in the mix, you got... Anyway, the point is this. For all those countries that want to fight, give them all the guns they want. But don't let them come into our countries. You know, just protect the borders. That's all. I'm not saying go there and kill them. I'm saying don't do that. Stop doing that, America. Stop sending drones. Stop sending soldiers. Stop shooting things at people. Stop it entirely. However, since they're so determined to fight, we might as well profit off it by selling them some guns. Good idea. Why not? They're going to fight anyway. Might as well make some money off of it. Doesn't that make sense? Aren't I a sensible person? Yes, I am. I'm a very sensible person. But don't sell them boats or planes because we don't want them to come over here. No. They don't get the guns until they pay us. They got oil. They got other things. They have plenty of resources with it which to buy guns. Okay? I'm not talking about charity. Okay? We're not going to be charity time. You still have to pay for their guns. Don't kill people. Let them kill themselves and take their money. I mean, to put it simply enough, yeah. I'm not from Temple City anymore. I'm from Arcadia. And I don't believe in autonomous zones. I believe in law and order and civilization and civil society. I don't believe in defunding the police. That's stupid. I do believe in police reform. I think that it sort of already happened, in fact. But okay, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, Morridge. Okay, I understand that other countries might be inclined to sell them boats or planes. The good news is the Middle Easterners mostly just hate each other. It seems like, this kind of Muslim hates that kind of Muslim, that kind of stuff. At least the more militant ones. There used to be secular Muslim societies, but there really aren't anymore. They're all non-secular. Why shouldn't you let those people join what? I think that every nation has the right and obligation to police its borders. That's the definition of a sovereign state, is that which has a monopoly of force within a given set of borders. And so it makes perfect sense to police borders. I'm not anti-immigration in general. I am anti-immigration of people who bring ideologies into the country that are wicked and undermine civil society. I did answer your question. What do you let those people join what? My country? You shouldn't. I don't want to. I think it's a bad idea. It's the United States' borders. No, I'm not in favor of a police state. Why would you say that? I'm not in favor of any police state at all. It doesn't matter. The problem is they're not my country. It's not my fucking problem. If you hate the selling them guns idea, fine. Don't sell them guns. Just don't let them anywhere in my country. It's like, oh, look at that poor nest of hornets over there. It's fighting with those Africanized bees that are killer bees. Let's help the wounded hornets into our home. No, morons. Don't help the Muslim. Don't help the wounded hornets into your home.
Good morning, my sweetheart.
Good morning.
Mm.
Yeah, it used to be there was Turkey, there was Lebanon. Lebanon was the jewel of the Middle East. It was a secular society. Even Iraq with Saddam Hussein was a secular society. And the United States went in there and blew it up.
Sheiks and yeah, there's many movies about how we fucked it up. I don't mean to join in.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by that thing right there. Why shouldn't they? Because it's not in our interest. And regarding the matter of sovereign borders, that's purely a matter of self-interest. It's not a matter of principle. There is no legitimate right to travel internationally between countries. Every country has control of their borders. That's part of being a sovereign nation. So it's not in our interest to let the poor, the tired, the huddled masses yearning to be free into our country, frankly. The Statue of Liberty be damned. It is in our interest to allow people into the country who are going to provide utility to the country. I'm fine with rich immigrants and immigrants with special skills and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Right now, I'd say the LA County area has a sufficient quantity of largely unskilled Mexican labor. I don't dislike the Mexican immigrants at all, and I'm very much in favor of once people are here, they get treated like anybody else who's here. They get the protection of the civil society. That's why the borders are so important. We have to decide whom and how many people we want to afford our resources, our way of life to, that are not naturally born citizens.
Big time.
It's like there's no reason, we have no obligation to help people from other countries. Those people from other countries have an obligation to help themselves, and for their countries, those countries have the obligation. I don't want any huddled messes.
Well, we rejected in World War II the Jewish people.
See, they would have probably been a good
I know. It shocked me.
That's an industrious folk in general, seems like. Anyway.
Well, FDR said.
The other thing is, I want to stress, I am generally very impressed by Mexicans. They work very hard. They do the jobs people don't want to do. They're nice. They're friendly. They're cool. I have no problem at all with Mexican immigrants in Los Angeles. I think they're great. And yet, I still think we should control the borders. It's a separate question, right?
Yeah.
It's just a separate policy question.
Yeah.
How I treat individual people and how I feel about people who are immigrants in my country is one thing. And how I feel about immigration policy is another. Yeah. And those are separate questions. FI people don't tend to get that. Those are separate questions.
True.
What is your question, Raphael? Why are you always yelling at me for not answering your question, even though I'm like always answering your questions?
Do you think he's still an ENTP?
I do. He's got to be an ENTP. He's just so goddamn argumentative.
So do you think that types in between types don't really get along that well?
Well, here's the thing. Raphael, I'm not sure about, because Raphael might be an EST. No, he's not. He seems an NI.
Could he be an I?
INTP? No. I don't know what Raphael.
I'm trying to think of arguments.
You know who was almost certainly an ENTP? The guy who came in last night and wanted to argue with me about music.
Oh God.
That guy.
I don't remember that.
I forget what his name was, but he came in and he's like, "Why don't you put more riffing down over that?" But that guy was an ENTP, and you could see us butting heads instantly.
Maybe it's just the nature.
Maybe it is. INFJs also like to troll, believe it or not. Oh, I believe it. Oh, you're talking to Aaron. Raphael, you're not asking me, you're asking Aaron. Is that the case?
Well, that's another argumentative type. INTJ.
Yeah. You think he is an INFJ?
INTJ, I mean.
KK Christian Sarnapaku is going with my initial typing of Raphael as INFJ. Email me, folks. You silly goose.
He is. Who on the internet doesn't troll? I think everyone trolls to some degree.
Beta and Gamma are your conspiracy hubs. You're right.
Yeah. Beta and Gamma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your NTJs and your NFJs, especially your conspiracy hubs.
At least,
go ahead.
At least with my theories, like, you tell me when they're out of control.
You're pretty. I think you believe a lot crazier things than you tell me you believe.
No, we agree a lot on the same thing.
I'm glad.
We really do.
Okay, cool.
Like 9/11 being an inside job. What else? There was another conspiracy theory about how someone died. Oh, Courtney Love killing.
Oh yeah, we do agree on that one.
We do agree.
And
I'm with you on evolution. There's no. We haven't. We do.
Actually, yeah. I get, and also when I asked you whether you believed in the Illuminati, your answer, I don't remember what it was the most convincing answer I'd ever heard about it. Do you remember what your answer was?
Yeah, it was like the celebrities who, they pay into it. It's kind of like Scientology.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
That made me go, oh.
Yeah.
No one who owned a MacBook died on 9/11.
Is that true?
And do you know what else is true? No one who died on 9/11 was smoking a Cuban cigar. Cuba was involved. No. That's not.
They didn't find anything. When they were like cleaning up, they found all like these like pole, like beams. It's mostly in rubble, and they inhaled a whole bunch of like toxins. And now that's what the lawsuit that Jon Stewart was passionate about. He wants every first responder to, or any responders to the 9/11 occasion to get proper health care and proper benefits so that they can take care of their needs, their alien needs, while they protected our country from an attack. Like,
Dandon has probably the best theory I've heard on it, which is that Kurt Cobain died of COVID-19 while jumping out of the North Tower on 9/11.
how did you know? How did you know?
Boom. Dandon, you have nailed it right on the nose.
That is how time really works.
Lawnmower agrees on Courtney Love, but Emailed Anthrax disagrees on Courtney Love.
Oh, you are just
You're
not
fooling
knowing.
yourself. You're fooling yourself.
Because
Emailed
if you
Anthrax.
didn't live in the 90s, you don't know the real Courtney Love. It's true.
She's not a good person.
No, she's not. She even says she's not a good person. There's this interview that she had with Diane Sawyer, and it's like guilt was just like
oozing from her.
Yeah.
Trust that INFJ read right there. Okay, that's what they're the experts at. She did a read, an NIFE read on Courtney Love, and the woman's guilty.
She said she loved him, and that
she probably regrets killing him.
Duh. She does, because she was that's when she started crying.
Can you hand me a pair of shorts?
Sure. These?
Yeah.
In the interview, she said that they bonded because both of their parents left them as kids. So they grew up with really like broken households. So they bonded over their childhood. That's a pretty big bond to have, especially if she had maybe an attachment disorder or something.
Okay, Raphael, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Are you talking to me? Are you yelling at me again? The thing is, Raphael,
Oh my God.
You keep yelling at me for like ignoring you or something. We're in the middle of talking about something. All right? And it's not what you're talking about right now. So you're going to have to chill out for a little bit. We talk about things other than just what Raphael talks about. Yes, I fucking do. Or you're talking to Aaron. You need to say who you're talking to. You made your point like 5 minutes ago talking to me. What? Okay, repeat your point. I don't see every single thing that goes through the chat because I'm busy talking about stuff as well as reading the chat. Scroll in the chat. God damn it. I don't know which point is your point because you make so many points. Thing is, your general point I agree on, Eric, but not your generalization about everyone in the Islamic world. I'm not saying a generalization about everyone in the Islamic world. I am saying that there exists basically no more secular societies that are Islamic nation states, that all of them are basically theocracies. But I agree there are plenty of good and decent people in the Middle East. So instead of giving them a way to avoid solving their own problem, let's force them to solve their problem. That way they won't have a problem anymore. That's the good thing about forcing them to solve their own problem.
Yeah, they really should.
No, I don't have to, and I didn't the second you wrote it. I waited a little bit until Rachel basically what she was saying, and then I went ahead and proceeded.
It's a naked.
I've got a big problem, Rachel.
What's going on?
I am out of cigarettes.
That is a big problem.
I am trying to decide, what should I do? Should I end this stream now and go get cigarettes? Or should I ask you to sit here and entertain the stream while I go get cigarettes?
I don't mind.
If you don't mind. Or
no, I don't mind sitting and entertaining them. I mean...
Do you have a preference? Would you prefer I end it?
No.
Okay, if you don't mind holding down
the
stream, I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Just gotta run to the gas station and back.
There's nothing in here?
It's empty.
Oh, it looks so
it looks so full,
tidy.
right?
It really does. So not sat upon by me.
Right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, everybody. He's gonna send me. No. Besides, I don't even know what to ask for when it comes to what is this? What is this little part over here? I don't even know what to ask for when it comes to cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. Hey, Raphael. No, I would not have gotten. First of all, I don't know how to drive his car because he drives stick. And I don't know what cigarettes he smokes, so I would be totally useless in that situation. It's better for him to get it. I'm good. Thank you. I guess it's a bob. I was inspired by some French style bobs. They call French bob a bob with fringe, and if I curl it a little bit, it can be like wavy. I just woke up, so I didn't do much to it. But thank you, King Christmas Summer Pagoo. It's good to see everyone. I'm good today. I had to take my medicine. I always forget in the morning. I remember around 12 o'clock, so I'm going to try and take it now. I need to learn to drive. He actually taught me when we went on that mountain trip. He actually taught me and I learned, but I need to learn again because the second time we did it, his mom was in the car and I was really nervous to drive while she was in the back seat. So I'm hoping that he takes me again. My hair King Krishna Summer Pagoo it's like kind of wavy and kind of straight. It just kind of does what it wants. It doesn't really. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people could care about a lot of people care about celebrities. There's a really good, I'm going to link a really good TED Talk about the ecosystem of Hollywood. There's a columnist named Elaine Louie, and she studies celebrities in their ecosystem. Because basically she says that they're a microsystem for showing us what's happening in our society. So there's a lot of divorces going on in Hollywood. There's a good chance that there's a lot of divorces happening in our society. So let me see. This is it. Let me just send a link. It's really good. It's pretty short, and it basically shows they do influence. That's good, more. You know, it's good to like keep up with what's going on in society, I think. But I also think that you can't believe everything that you read. So take everything with a grain of salt. Like, even like I used to, as a teen, I used to really like CNN for news. But then I worked at a hotel, and all I have been, you know, I totally lost my train of thought because I saw the Rachel Hader thing. But anyway, there is a good chance. It's not vapid, it's sociology. Sociology is a study of people, and I study people. And the easiest way to study trends is to study Hollywood, because they set the trends for what's going on now. I mean, why do you think, hey, Alan Bryan, why do you think like young girls are so like confused about their sexuality now? Because they look at like celebrities like Miley Cyrus and Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez, who they're good people, but they have their shit to deal with too. Like, a lot of them have drug problems and mental health issues, just like I do. And they're talking about it more. So in my opinion, Hollywood is a good example of what is happening in our greater society. We don't know who Rachel Hader is. But is Rachel Hader and Eric lover? That's what I want to know. How's your ENTP wife, Alan? Yeah, I think it's Cloud too. Because I think he lies. He lies about his sex. He lies about what... Who's my favorite actress or actor? My favorite actress is Meryl Streep. My favorite actor is probably Al Pacino. And I really like Robert De Niro too. Oh, that's really nice that she's watching them. ENTPs are very attentive to their family. Oh. Thanks, Mark Dan. I will. I definitely am FI. I mean, I'm definitely FE, not FI. I'm not an ENFP. Apparently, Tom Jeckelson made a video about me, if I am FE or FI.
That's cool.
Exactly, King Christopher. What is his sex? We don't know. He's probably, I think Cloud is a guy, but he said yesterday that he's a girl. He always changes his mind. Yes, you're right, Alan Bryan. ENTPs can be more tribally oriented. Can we watch it on the live stream with you guys? I don't know. Who? Mark Dan, can you send us, a link?
Somebody made a video about you?
Yeah.
You've arrived, Rachel.
I've arrived. I'm sorry. I'm breaking up.
I pulled a Rachel. It's my bad. You might as well call it an Eric at this point. I pulled an Eric.
That's okay. You can pull a Rachel. Well,
Rachel and I both have a tendency to sit on things because we don't look before we sit.
Even sometimes Kitty.
Who's Eric's girlfriend? I want to see it.
He really thinks that I'm an ENFP. Like, he's convinced, and he's very upset that I'm not.
Let's see. We're probably gonna make make us mad though.
It's okay.
All
I'm
right.
in a good mood.
It's only 2 minutes long. I'm gonna mute this so I don't get copyright stuff.
Okay.
That's interesting. The thing is, I have said before that when Rachel is slonkers, that she's ENFP like. And then I took it back and I said, no, you're not ENFP like. Even when you're slonkers, you're not ENFP like. The reason she's not ENFP like is because she is taking any from other places and bringing it to me and saying, here's some any to counter your any or something.
Yeah.
Whereas, of course, she's actually that's like an INFJ that is in unhealthy mode because they're finding any that matches up that reinforces negative NI things that they want to reinforce.
Yeah, that's unhealthy.
And the reason it looks like ENFP a little bit in that instance is because it's the want to part. You know, they want to reinforce the negative, and so they're finding things that are consistent with what they want.
Yeah.
That's not normally how INFJs operate. That's not normally how Rachel operates.
No.
That's just when she slonkers. I'm sure if Tom Jickelson didn't sleep for 3 or 4 days, he'd also be a little weird.
People would alter. Their personalities alter.
It's funny. It's like your personality doesn't change. It's just it manifests in its very worst form.
Yes.
And that's the thing. It's like, so when I say she's like an ENFP and I say, and I have, I'm wrong. She's like an INFJ who's manifesting her worst aspects because of really circumstantial things. Isn't Tom Jefferson an INFJ? I don't think so. I think that's certainly looks just like a slightly chubbier, put on some weight version of what was that guy's name? I can't remember his name. Curtis. It looks like Curtis. Is that Curtis?
It could be.
Does anybody know who Curtis is?
I remember Curtis.
Let's see if I can find Curtis. The Sociology of Gossip. That looks like an interesting TED Talk.
Yeah, that's what I linked them to. We should check it out.
Curtis, EWFP.
because they were saying that like it's vapid to like study celebrities, but it's not. I mean, it is, it's smut a little bit, but I don't want to be fooled. When Kurt Cobain died, I was like 8 or 9, and I knew that Courtney Love, like, that's not good. When an 8 or 9-year-old can see a relationship from the outside, from the media, and not hear what the media is saying, but only see the interaction, the physical language between the two people, I knew she was up to no good. She had him wrapped around, and there were many times where he wanted to leave and he couldn't.
Look at this. I never saw this one before.
Check it out.
It's 12 minutes. It turns out that the personality type of Eric Strauss is INFP. Oh, I'm an INFP,
Yeah, I didn't know that. Since Lila, say that you're an INFP.
And here, Queen's Gambit says that I'm an ESFJ. I can't find Curtis anywhere.
So maybe it is Tom Chickelson.
This guy.
Oh.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Doesn't that look like him?
It does look like him. A lot.
Convince me she is more constant than that. What do you think?
Look at
Same
that.
guy?
It could be. Yeah, look at that nose.
Yeah, that's got to be the same guy. Tom Chickelson is Curtis. Tom Chickelson is Curtis. Hi, Supwalk.
Ooh.
That's who I was talking about.
What?
The ENTP from last night. Supwalk.
Oh, Supwalk. Yeah, what's up, Supwalk?
Rachel Hader came back while we were gone.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
To talk about
how much she
how
is?
vapid I am.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's why I sent the link.
Oh.
And then Lawnmower, or someone said it was Cloud, and I'm starting to believe it.
I don't think it is. Actually.
Well, I know from, like, if he is an ESFP, I'm so bad with that.
He is an ESFP.
They lie a lot. And I had to, in camp, like, I would always be like, they would come into my office and they'd tell me what they did and they would start crying. And I'd be like, what happened? They'd be like, I didn't do anything. I wasn't wrong. That's not true. And I would start to believe them. And then all of a sudden, the truth would come out and they would be the person who did it. So ESFPs lie a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if Cloud is.
Well, I mean, the good thing is, it's one way that you know you're getting somewhere in life. People start talking shit.
True.
I don't think I may have thought for about 5 seconds that she was ENFP.
Yeah.
But pretty quickly it became clear she was FE, not FI.
Yeah.
Celebrities know that being famous is having intrusions into one's privacy. And having things like they don't want to be. Well, see, that's the great thing about being me is that I get ahead of that. There's nothing somebody can tell about me that I haven't already told about myself.
Yeah. Kira Louise, I appreciate you looking out.
Travis.
Yo! I've been missing Rick Benson too. Yo, did you get this heartbroken or something?
Look, guys, I've just been out slaying the puss as usual, all right? I'm a busy guy, and I'm trying to hang out with you in two retards.
Don't even front, dude. You were like totally fucking so sad about her for like 2 days. You wrote a letter about it.
Okay, like a day and a half, maybe.
Yeah, he came to us, he told us he wrote this letter, and it was like, I don't know what I'm feeling. Me and Tiffany used to spend so much time together, and now she doesn't want to give me blowjobs.
That's ridiculous. I think we should vote as a world on how to handle members of our species who have gone to the moon and who are declaring independence. We should initiate a pre-action to have sovereignty over them. That'll work well. Can you describe the thought process of an INFP? Moisture and dewdrops.
Aww.
I don't know.
Aww, and My Little Pony.
It's the same as an ENTP, but without any... without caring about things that matter. I don't know. It's hard to explain INFPs. INFPs are difficult to explain. Cloud is always saying bullshit. Cloud's an ESFP.
Yeah, Cloud said he was female yesterday. He said he was an I. He changes to all different types. He's not to be trusted.
At least his words aren't.
No, his words are not.
He doesn't think words matter at all.
Yeah, his words are not to be trusted.
Oh, words don't matter. I'm Cloud. I'm going to say a whole shit ton of words, and then when you say words, I'm going to say words don't matter.
Will they hold Will they hold ENTPs to their word?
Oh yeah, for sure. And, anytime Cloud actually does find some sort of contradiction or apparent contradiction, he's not very good at it, determining which it is. But I hear about it for sure.
KKSP, we vibe.
Both as Earthlings and as Moonlings, failing to prepare unlike COVID and climate change, have actual consequences.
How do they know that I was from the moon?
Dan is pretty intuitive.
Oh right, Meta MBTI.
Climate change will have real consequences. It's going to be one of the many issues about which I correct everybody for their wrongnesses. That's the beautiful thing about people being wrong. It gives me an opportunity to correct them. So
am I getting better?
You are getting better. I want to make this very clear, Rachel. I have never cared. Rachel always seems to be concerned that I'm judging her about her bong or something. I've never cared at all.
Such a FE tool.
I'm not judging you at all. Okay, baby?
Fucking FE tool, man.
Don't be sad. It's beautiful.
Aww.
You're my FE tool. Pure, pure.
It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. Look at that face. How young. He has a young face.
Did you explain to them, Isaiah Root, that, hey, he's just an ESFP?
He's 6 years old. Does he like to jump on the couch a lot? And go on the swings? Let's say again and again.
Again.
That's how I was with movies, my dad said. When he brought me to see Snow White as I was 2. My mom was pregnant with my sister. And we went to the theater to see Snow White. And I said, after the movie, again.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You were queuing in on the NI even as a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
It's a very NI movie.
Thank you. Isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think that she's an ESFJ, they say.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying the whole... the animation is so
Oh
good,
my God.
you know?
It is. It's beautiful. I like that you respect it. That makes me happy.
Sneezy and sleepy and cheesy and wheezy and poopy. All the dwarves.
Which one are you?
I'm poopy.
You booby?
Poopy.
Oh, poopy. Yes, yeah, you are. Hey, what's up with you, Isaiah?
Do we have any typing soon, Isaiah? Tomorrow we have one, I think? All right. You start the you initiate the bureaucracy for controlling the lunar residents. I think I'm INFP, and when I'm relying on others and feel I can't support myself and others, I gain serious social anxiety and low self-esteem. Well, yeah. Bye, Raphael.
Bye.
I want to answer that. So the thing is, we have one at 2:00 today. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, fine.
Oh yeah, today's Monday. Ethan.
Mark, Dan, that sounds like, in your own opinion, failing to validate on FE grounds, which is your fifth slot absolute value that's unconscious. So it would be like, if I couldn't get anywhere using the truth, I get depressed.
Can I
Yes, my
maybe I
darling?
should write it down. Or maybe just talk to you about it after the stream.
Okay, well, I'll have to
Give
wrap it
two
up anyway.
fingers to not Raphael, but ISTPs. You know, if you get typed and you don't like your type, doesn't mean that you shouldn't pay the person who types you just because you think it's wrong.
Yeah. Well.
ISTPs.
I mean, here's the thing though, Rachel. She'll probably end up paying because if she comes to the chat anyway, and I ask her every time, eventually she'll.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, I'll see you all later. Later. Don't forget to eat yourselves an alligator. I'm going to do something else right now. It's hard to kiss with a straw in your mouth. It's almost impossible.
It's so airy.
But because you have to have a airtight seal on your lips to do that, right? But if you have a straw, your airtight seal's ruined. You can't do it. Here, try it. That's funny.
That's funny.
You learn something new at age 50 about trying to kiss with a straw in your mouth. Try it. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, go. It's so much air.
But yeah, you have to have every airtight. All right, so I'll see you at 2:00, Isaiah.